Good evening, folks, or good middle of the night. It's 1:45, 3rd of June. Welcome back to Biblical Britain. I've got some huge codes come in to the point where even the Eastern Spear that I was going to do, and that one's incredible in itself, I'm literally going to put that on hold because what I've been shown is so mind-blowing. It defies logic. Somebody asked me on the comments, and I thank you for the comments and the likes. They really appreciate it. It just lets me know that people, even if it's a small number, at least people are taking it in. It just gives me some sort of guidance and let me know, that it's sort of hitting home a bit. Right, what is this all about? Oh, in a nutshell, I couldn't write it, that's for certain, but due to, but I'm limited to time as well. What this all stems, well, to know where to start is real difficult. This has been going on really all my life, but I obviously had absolutely no clue of anything until COVID-19 struck in March the 20th or 21st, 2019, and I literally, I had a business that was, supplying security to all sorts of different places, all crowd control, but literally everything cancelled overnight, literally, and pretty much sort of ended the road. I could have kept it going, but something happened that just instinctively made me, I don't even know why really, it's just like, well, I do now because it was all meant to be and it was never going to be any different, but something drove me to start looking into or listening to the Old Testament, or the Gold Testament as it turns out. Listened to it over and over, and I thought it was all about the Middle East and the usual, what we all think of the Old Testament to be. And listening again, as I said, I was listening to it rather than not reading it, and had a set of headphones on, and Moses went up to Mount Sinai. Only I didn't hear Sinai, I heard Scythe. And this was really the spark that set this whole thing off. Realising that and it turns out that it was it's code for a B recon beacon. The sign high is a recon beacon, B recon beacon, Brecon beacon. I started following up then on Moses Trail. I don't even know really what even, other than that, I still, it's a complete blur really. But one thing and another, I ended up moving, and it happened in such an unbelievable, strange way. And in the space of a day, I found myself left home and living in a caravan, which I bought from Man Moyle, which is obviously coded in the four-faced angel. Ended up with a caravan being towed to Caen onto my mother's garden, bless her. And that's where I've been ever since. The code started off slowly. I mean, this whole thing is just, I don't know. It was just like I had to be pulled away from everything because you need your mind clear, or this will just get messed up. And I know that's why I'm just doing what I'm doing because I have to do it that way. I don't like living in a caravan particularly, but I know that it's critical because codes fixed to it, among other things. What happened? Obviously then things start encoding, and I realised that, I find the real Jerusalem, and I find some very basic code, which I thought I'd hit the jackpot at the time, and everybody would be like taking notice. Clearly, it didn't work out that way. And boy, even now it's taking, you know, I'm still trying to convince people now, and I've got a ton of code, and I'm hoping the ones I've got today will really, one of them puts, well, it's so miraculous. I just can't even, the words define me for how, what I found is there. But what if it essentially is this all about? It's about, there's basically, the bottom line is, whether we like it or not, and it is all really starting to show. One of these things I'm going to show you today is, it's quite scary actually well, it will be, it's for America. Got one good sign and one not good sign, but you know, obviously Britain is going to be facing the bear. I know, and this is going to happen. That is already taking shape with NATO. You know, Sweden and Finland and Sweden joining NATO. That fits perfectly with what is coming, as does the second prophecy for the US, and it is a prophecy. It's been written there all the time, but and as you'll see, it's, well, it's not, it's not a good omen, and I don't take delight in putting it out there, other than hopefully that people will realise there is well, the safe zone I'm showing you, which is beyond. I've gone from questioning, can this be real, to how can this not be real? Can it not be right? Because it's impossible that all this, everything that I get fits. Not only is it in the code and the actual what I uncode, but it's this. I mean, the only advantage I have over you as the decoder is I know that I don't find these codes. They just find me, and that's what. And the one that I'm going to show you is just absolutely nuts, because I had the one part of the code, but it's mind-blowing. On that note, I hope that sort of, but there is a safe zone. Yeah, just take, you know, keep it in the back of your mind. There's no need to move yet, and somebody asked me when do we move? Well, I would suggest if you're in Britain, you see Norway fall and Russian boots on British soil. That's probably a good time to think about packing up and moving and getting into the safe zone. As for how big the safe zone is, I don't honestly know. But you know where the two forts are, and that is, if you head for those, you're not going to, well, you're going to be in the safe zone either way. And from what the prophecy says, there are going to be people come in there, well, even if they haven't heard about this, I guess by natural means, where people flee like they do in the Ukraine into Poland, but people from the north obviously would head south, but obviously time will tell, and well, when this happens, we'll all know that this was right. I've been clearly chosen to do it, and I don't say that lightly. Like I say, I didn't even look for this or ask for it. It's just been there all along, and I was always going to do it. And all I've had to do is realise, well, and look, it's the code that tells me that what is not it's not angels speaking to me or anyone talking to me or coming down. You know, it's all done through consciousness, and but with outside triggers as well, things that kick off the code. You know, that I will see, or will come up on a Facebook feed, or just randomly appear on YouTube suggestions, but I instantly know. I can't really explain it, guys and girls. You'd have to experience it to know. But one thing I do know, I can hold a conversation with anyone. I've said it over and over. I don't do. You know, faith is not. You know, it's taken me long enough to get to grips. This is actually real, and this is in black and white, these codes. So it's not like I'm having to guess anything, you know, or, well, as you'll see anyway. On that note, I'll get on with it. I've got a bit more time tonight, but obviously it's uploading these videos is the problem. So what I'm probably going to do, we've got a lot of places to unravel. a heck of a lot actually, especially the second picture. There's about 20 locations on that, I think, that make it up, and I've cut that down to a minimum. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the video, so you'll have a quick blackout, and then I'll come back on, obviously, you know, in seconds, while I write up the next lot. So as you see, I've done the first one. This makes very interesting reading. These three places are in Wales. For anyone that's not from Wales, there's a massive, there's quite a lot of biblical Old Testament place names in Wales, a lot of them, and one of the main ones, obviously, as you can see, is Bethlehem. Now, right, this is a code, and when you get a code, and you know you've got a set. And there's more to this set, and it probably makes, I dare say, it might make some picture at some point, I don't know. But sometimes, I call them divine lines, because this is what they do. They just line up with with the answer to whatever, sometimes a question or whatever else. Okay, so these are the pinpoints. This is 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, and this is the target. Of the answer to what you'll see. And what I do is I draw this line. I draw it with a bit of a curve, because with Google Maps, and whether the Earth is flat or round, I do not know, and not something I want to get into. If I went by biblical things, it's flat, but ultimately I don't know. I don't know whether they've taken stuff out to make it, leaves it open to contest, you know, I don't know. But either way, whichever way, Yara's accounted for Google Maps, I can assure you, because, well, as you'll see with the pictures, it's phenomenal. And one of them requires a huge bend, or 3 huge bends. Right, okay, on that note, so this bend is just because this is down in Europe. Okay, so Tal Aris. Some people are not going to like this, but again, I don't care, it's truth, and this is what this is all about. You can rely on a New Testament book that gives you a load of old, well, and there's no historical evidence for Jesus or any of it, and I'm sorry, but and if it offends, I'm sorry, and I understand that people, the way it's been done is to gear it up to people to not look any further, and that's just to get you to not seek truth. So you'll never find the truth, and you're going to be sat waiting for Jesus before you realise it's going to be too late, and you will die for him, but he's not even there or real. I'm sorry, but that's the way it is, and well, hopefully this code will go some way to pointing this out. Okay, so liar is out. Number 1. Number 2, note I put the line just between the two. These two are only a smidgen apart, but the line goes right in the middle and then cuts through Bethlehem, and that gives you the target, who the liar is. Okay, Mary, I don't know if that's the right pronunciation, but read my what? Well, read my Bethlehem. This is not the liar, but this tells you the real meaning of it. It's Mel H, and this is not just me saying it, because this is backed up by the Melchizedek code, by a million things, even Noah and Lamech as well. There's so many things with this Mel H, and I can actually explain the Mel connection as well, because that comes to me, well, unbelievable, but I'll get to that. Okay, so it's be the Mel H. So what it's saying is the real person who knows, well, let's cut to the chase. The H man, the Mel H is me, and that will become apparent in one of the codes I've got to show you. Unbelievable. So be the Mel H. So this is what Bethlehem in the Old Testament, and what the matrix, or the tricks that has been put in there by Yah for this time to unravel it and reveal the truth and expose the liars, this will do now. So it's be the Mel H. So the real Bethlehem meaning is be the Mel H. Obviously, this is overlaying the fake story of Bethlehem in the Middle East, and who is responsible for that? Well, the modern day follow-up of it. Either way, number 4, follow this line, pinpoint through Bethlehem, would never believe it, not just hits Rome, but pinpoint on the Vatican. Liar is at, read Bethlehem, it's B the Mel H is the real one. So where is the liar at? The liar is at the Vatican. Or your the Christian, I hate to say it, and it's not just the Vatican, because this is why my map has a shark with the Jesus fishtail, and I think that comes from a place called Fishbourne, part of the Regenesis tribe, or I call them the Regenesis tribe, a Fishbourne palace, and I think you'll find the concept of Jesus, and this is where it started in Britain, and then moved up, and these the Reuben tribe, Atrebati or Atrebates, as it really says, they're the ones that have twisted it all around, managed to push Christianity in, get Solomon to agree. The Romans didn't even exist at this point. All they've done is backdated history and added the Romans in over the Atrebates tribe, so make it a but, and then making it they invaded, and apparently the Atrebates called them in or something, or some story. But absolute lies, all of it. The history we know is a lie. Let me just move this up a bit because I can see we're going to be clearing. Oh, there we go. It's a bit further back. Sorry, guys and girls. I'll adjust this, but you can clearly see it says, tell Aris, liar is at, read my Bethlehem. So really read the Bethlehem, speed them LH. I've got the keys to the city of David, the lock, the key, everything. It's all written in. I know it sounds bizarre, people, and I would not put any of this out there. And well, again, I'm starting to see that, well, I clearly know this is all planned and programmed, but how, why, it's me, something, all I know is something, well, clearly knew I was before I was born, but I assume, well, he did. And he's obviously programmed everything into this matrix, and this is why, as you'll see, my name crops up everywhere, and, well, I'm about to put the crown on this one. But anyway, there we go. I'm just going to pause this video, guys and girls, to get the second one up. Okay, folks, next one, pretty short and sweet, but that's what's going on, and what's going on with me. Well, as well as obviously, I don't know what I meant. I know what the thing I'm connecting to is called the tetragrammaton, which is a remote anagram timing TT timing trigger. It also gives you a kutch, which also ties up with the line by he said, yeah, in the Old Testament or Old Testament somewhere it says, I guide you to the left and to the right, line by line, precept by precept, here a little, there a little. Well, this is exactly what it's doing, because these lines are maps and words, lines of words and lines on a map, and that's what the line by line is. The precept, I had to look it up because I didn't have a clue what it actually meant, and it apparently means keeping a commandment. Well, if you look at the tetragrammaton and Kutch code, that is exactly what it does. I keep the Sabbath, and then I get the code, the word, sorry, it does it through consciousness, word, timing and trigger, code and follow, and H is Israel, but it makes the word Kutch effectively. You'd have to go back and check it. I think it's the third video I've done on this channel. But anyway, just moving on swiftly. This sort of sums it up as well. Okay, Guernsey. Scythe guy. Channel English, Channel Islands. Well, channeling is, again, this is like, well, when people channel to spirits or whatever, I don't know who they're channeling, but either way, whichever, this is exactly what I'm doing. So it's Scythe guy, Channel English, and I channel islands, a lot of islands. Marco Island is one, even the Keys are islands, Alpha Beta Key Island, they're all little islands, and it is on land as well, and obviously it's all based around an island as well, you know, the island of Britain in general, but just a quick one, just to sum it up, even that is written in, there you go, and this is, Again, you can call it coincidence, but it's there, and this, you know, this is the beauty of this, doing it this way. No, I'm not, nobody can say, I cannot lie to you. I can show you what I get, and you can see it, and I back it up with whatever I've been given. But like I say, I'm showing you things today that I've got in the last really 2-3 days at the most. And I mean, and when you see how big the main ones are, you'll realise this is impossible for somebody just to go out and find and put together. And I didn't. I can assure you, this is not my. You know, this is not me doing it. Well, I'm writing it on the vessel and on the channel, and but the information is coming from well, heaven, I guess. I don't know. I don't. Not, you know, what it is exactly, I don't know, but it's a divine plan, I know that, and it's like a program that's already been put there, but it also ties with the outside world, just showing that everything is, well, they say the world, is it the world's a play and we're actors in it. I think that probably sums up exactly where we are, with a bit of free will to go mess up or whatever, and the choices you make. But ultimately, this is what's going on anyway. Okay, the next one. 3 places. Well, as you can see, there's 2 places in the temple dart. Now, the temple dart is, if you go back and you look at the dart across the big dart across the West Country, that actually hits the temple itself. Well, just as a bit of confirmation that how all this fits together, I did point out on the last video that the reason it's a dart is because when you move the D across, it's just letting you know that lock that it hits on there, the stone picture of a padlock on the temple itself, the Temple of Solomon. Again, if you don't understand this, you need to go back and see it. But there's the lock. It's and all I do is move the D off the dart to there. So it's not only it's a dart, but it's a temple. It's designed to be temple dart, to confirm that is actually a picture, along with the key as well at Llanmelin. And again, right, and just to show you how clever this matrix is, and where all these things are hidden in there. This one says, an interesting one, this one. I got the right one there, hold on. Be my Jerusalem, that's right, yeah. Okay, be my, so that's be my Jerusalem. Yeah, I was making a point here that this obviously, this place is a few villages across from Malmesbury, a little bit to the, I don't know, east, west, a little bit to the west of Malmesbury. But this one says, just so you know what he's talking about. Obviously, it's in the Temple of Solomon, which is the temple in there, but it is basically ID Dart Month. Temple Dart, which I've already done, but it just gives me confirmation after I've done it, incredibly. Also, note this is Rus and Mel backwards, and A Rus Mel. So the word root, even their word of Jerusalem, which they added the deceptive JE to the front of, again proving the Vatican to be liars. This is your Rus, and that is your MEL. So that's Llanmelin and that's Jerusalem. That just connects the two, a Rus, a Mel. And that's why I say they came up with the name Jerusalem. They know damn well which is the real Jerusalem. And this is what they're hiding, and why you need to hide everything. Well, I wouldn't want to be in the issue shortly, but there we go. Okay, folks, just pause you again. Okay, so the next one, right. This actually makes a picture, a phenomenal picture, and the clue. Well, I say the clues, the places that make up this picture. Honestly, well, if there's no way on this in this existence that this could not have been put there. Right, I knew part of this code to start with, and I'll tell you what it is. In the book of Isaiah, it says something about I think it's for Jacob my servants. No, for Jacob something, or an Israel my servant's sake. On my Israel my elect's I surnamed thee before you were born. Okay, right. First thing to note is if you take a tip from the tip of the finger on Wales, there's a hand that sticks out on the holy head, which is all meant to be there. There's a point that comes out on island, and there's a little island there called Bardsey Island on the tip. Basically, it's the first point out the tip of the arm. And what I do is just draw a line off it, and it curves badly. But what it does, it comes down and it actually hits this one, Suriname. Well, Suriname is number 3. Is well one of the key points to the obviously of this picture. That this actually connects to this picture. That's what it amounts to. But well, you'll see now. Okay, so let's just get with the code. But just so you know, this also connects to Gymru, which is the Welsh word for Wales. Obviously, this is Mr. Guy. So you've got, again, not a easy surname. They've got the title and everything on it. This is like I say, trying to explain this is impossible in earthy terms, but it's clearly there. Okay, so connecting Mr. Guy, Gymru, down to South America, because these places are obviously in South America. And there's a reason they're in South America. This is in South America, this picture as well, which is completely mind-blowing. Okay. The first message there's a message at the centre of this, and this is actually, right, I'm going to have to tell you what this is. Right, what this actually does, it pinpoints the constellation of G Rus, the crane, believe it or not, onto the map of onto the top of South America, connecting all these points as stars. Now the brightest stars are actually this one, this one, this one, and this one. Okay, well these 4 I sort of seen coding all the others, but obviously, then I didn't realise there was the picture of the crane constellation, and the other clues you'll see now. But let's just go with the initial message. So he surnamed me before I was born, and this gets even more bizarre when you see the final one, and a guy. Okay, and a guy, Suriname, and these places exist. These are actual country names, believe it or not. I always find it funny as well. The surname is Rus is at the beginning. It's a Rus name. So maybe this is my Rus name. Surname I. So Anna Guy, surname I. This is Raw. It's all about lions, because the lions of Israel, or Israel, lions of Israel and the Silures. Raw I am. So raw I am a mapper. Well, I think it's pretty fair to say that I am a mapper. This is why I'm at East Lanes, yes, Atlas. Okay, right. So what you've got effectively on 4 of the brightest stars, you've got this message, and I'll show you this picture on the map because it needs to be seen in its full glory. And then I'll have to pause and reset the camera again for it, right? But I'm going to have to break it down. If this is the constellation of G Rus. It's a bad drawing, but these are the points. There's Guyana, Guyana City. See, note this is actually spelled different, and there's a reason for this. You'd think this would be spelled the same as Guyana, but there is a reason, because it's a guy and a city. Well, Jerusalem, as it's now, as I've decoded it, was Ventus Iurum in Roman name, was a city. It held about 2,500 to 3,000 people. That would have been crammed because it's only a fair-sized village these days. but apparently that's what it was. But it had 60-foot high walls, to put it in perspective, and must have been the most imposing place you've ever seen. In fact, it's difficult to imagine it because it's 20-foot walls now, and they look pretty huge, and the thickness of they're hugely thick. What's there? But they're still standing and good. One of the best, second best or best fortifications in Europe, and yet no one knows about it. But that should tell you something about what they're hiding. Right, okay. So we got a guy. Right, so this is what it's all about. Number one is what it's all about. It's about a guy and a city. Then you've got the name and a guy, surname raw I am, a mapper. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we've got 3 in a row that make such interesting reading, but there's actually a 6. Number 6 has an A as well. And when I show you what the A is, well, my disbelief when I scrolled in and seen it, as you'll see. Okay, so what are the chances of all this being there before I continue? And this making up a picture of the constellation of G-Roos the crane when it's a guy in a city and a guy shooting my and all the rest of it. Well, now we get into a bit more of the fort stuff. Right, the first one, or the next one. In fact, I'll pause you a second, guys and girls, just so I can write them up. Okay, so right, as you can see, we've got another 3 locations now that make up the I don't know if you can see this, guys and girls, just to give you an indication. This is actually, well, the picture is a crane, basically, or the constellation of the crane. And that's how it sits. Better on the map, as you'll see when I show you. Right, but obviously you can see this is all relating to this fort. Well, first thing is, well, B Mel. We know it's G-Root. Mel is Mel H. This is the key fort that connects the key and the lock of G-Roos. Mel is the original. Melin is the original, and there's a reason for this, which comes in the 6A. But the Mel, basically the Mel H is the hill fort that the Silures moved down to, or the Israels moved down to, obviously, and they moved home basically, and this is where after King David or Caradoc, the divine identification, once he built the city, they moved down, not called in by the Romans. This is all a lie. But this is B Mel, okay, and that is just the tip of this. Right, okay. So we got so B Mel. So this connected to the Melin H, the Fortland Melin, the lock. So you've got the lock and the key as well. But I'll come back to this now. Right, this is O as Silu. Well, a Silu is the Silures. That was the tribe of the Silures. If you look at my Archangel's code, I'm not sure which one it is, number 4, I think. The Archangel's code, which gives you the Silu, and that identifies me as being Mr. Guy in Gumri, when you use all the Archangel names to make it on Jerusalem. Again, you'd have to go back, check that code, but it's well worth a look, because that's pretty phenomenal as well, and also gives you the Holy Land code as well. Okay, so we got B Mel, O as a Silu, and the Silu lived in Mel, lived in Roos. This is exactly what it's all about. Guyana City, so connects me as well. No way is this coincidence. Okie dokie. Now the last one is, all we do is going to change that to an S effectively, and then we've got seal a fort. Well, what better way to seal a fort? That's called Jerusalem decoded, and then it shows the constellation using all these sort of codes, and you pinpoint them on a map, and there it goes. And to my shock, it was there it was, the constellation of G-Roos with all the stars and this complete message running right through it. Right, now this is where it really blew and it blows my mind every time. I often wonder, well, it just defies logic. But right, when I do these maps, you pull the line, obviously you draw a line on the map and then you can adjust it up and down. But if you put the line over, say that was on the map, and I put the line there, that deletes that. So I'm trying to look at it with all these there. So I'm moving this around, and to get in close, to get it exact, I scrolled in. Well, as you scroll in on maps, you get better well, you get the smaller like districts or whatever, place names, like I can't think what the Lewisham in London, for example. When you look at a big map, you won't see Lewisham. As you scroll in on Google, the closer you get, then you'll pick up Lewisham. Well, when I scrolled in to check this, to put this line in, to my absolute disbelief, and you can check this yourself, put Belham in, scroll in, and right by it, and literally just, well, you've got that there, and then this is sort of just above it, is this place. It's literally called Marco. Now you tell me, obviously I'm a Scythe as well, because I live in the land of the Scythe. Seal a fort, well, we sealed it, not only, well, sealed it with Marco, because I live there, and I decoded it. Connects to the lock and key as well with the Mel, and this is where it gets bizarre. I will show you the Mel connection as well. Now, I sort of had an, well, I knew this was related, but I didn't. I wake up this morning and I got this well, within seconds. Weird. Well, it's not weird. I'm used to it, but it does take, yeah, take some explaining. Right. Okay. So we clearly see we got all of these clues, and just to read them back: a guy in a city, and a guy, surname I am, a mapper. B Mel, Marco. Suicide. It could be suicide. I put Silu, suicide, either way. It's telling you you're a Silu. And then seal a fort. Well, they sealed the fort because there's G-Roos, the crane, the constellation, which is exactly the name of how you get the decode for the fort, being G-Roosilum, and Silurum just being an anagram of Roosilum, and you overlay the G-Roos onto it, and you get G-Roosilum, the name of the fort. So there we go. Perfect. Right. The Mel connection, or the Melin connection. Right, Fortland Melin. Yeah, right, again, and this ties, and I got this as well from thinking about this B Mel. Marco B Mel. Right, what does that mean? Well, if I take my name in the old Welsh way of writing your name, like, for example, Caradoc is the son of, that's King David. He's the son of Bran. He's Caradoc ap Bran. Takes the first name. Then it comes down, and then it would be Caradoc ap Bran. Then his son was Coelin. I think his name is. This is King Solomon, by the way, and he would be ap Caradoc, and then so on and so forth. So it flips over. Well. Right, if I do my name in the traditional Welsh name, Welsh way of doing it, this is what my name would be. Marco ap Melvin. So my father's name, even though he went by John, because he didn't like the name, was Melvin. And in fact, my grandfather's name was also Melvin, both spelled with an I. Right. What is, right. Lan Melin. Right, this is a phonetic, for anyone that doesn't know, Lan is church. This is to do with Solomon's wives, this whole code. They put clans on, they put the word clan on, made it into the word church, or put the double L on. That should really be a C. This is what it used to be. So, clan Melin, that's the name. It's one word actually, but I'm breaking it up just for to show you. So that would be Fort Clan Melin. Okay, clan. Right, clan. This is where this gets absolutely bizarre. Right, okay, well, it's not bizarre, it's just clearly the work of the creator, Yahweh. Right, clan Mel in. I've left a gap for a reason, because this is a question. So, what clan would Melin, or the two Melvins be in? Well, they would be in the Cassie. They were born, same as I was born in Newport. The Cassie is reversed as Isaac as well, just to show you. But this is the actual tribe, the lost tribe that they've hidden, and they certainly don't want you to know, and would deny it to the hilt, of course. But I've decoded them, and this is basically what you've got is. Right, today it's called Cas Newydd. And this is actually a code in itself. It's Cas Newid. When you decode this, though, because I get told by, change this to a TH, because that's what DD is in Welsh, is TH. So it'd be Cas Neweth with a double D. Well, when you do that, you get, and you put the Y on the end, thy new Cas. So he's telling you there's a new Cas, the modern day Cas Newith, is thy new Cas. And this is coded in as well. But the Cassie, effectively, so you've got Cas there, but you've also got ISCA, which is the Roman name, or given Roman name. It's not, it's the name they used to hide it. Isca. Well, Isca is the Roman name for Newport, or the said Roman name for Newport. Isca, in fact, it'd be Isca Silurum as well, which is Isca Rusillum. But either way, the lost tribe of Issachar, which I won't get into, but is the lost tribe of the Cassi, which happened to be the 5th tribe. Now, in said Roman numerals, 5 is a V. So the clan Mel in is 5. And that gives you Clan Melvin. This is the clan of Melvin. This is my family. This is my dad's family tree. And I think this is where the Mel comes in, because the Mel is also the elm. And I think this is showing the elm tree. And the elm tree goes back to see, there's a code in this. I know there is, and you've got Lamech being Omel H, I think it is. Even Elohim is Omel. Is that no? Elohim is Omel H as well. Well, Elohim is supposed to be. Well, I don't know what they've changed with no date the Old Testament, but Elohim is angel. But I don't get it, because that says Omel H. So I think I can only assume, and I don't know this, but I like as an angel, I guess, and I've been sent down to do a job. Makes complete sense with what I'm finding, but either way, whatever. But as you can see, this is the code. This is the Mel connection to Lan Melin, and this is what it's all about. Okay. Oh dear, I don't even know if I'm going to have time to do this next one, because this next one is absolutely enormous. 42 minutes. I'm going to chance it, because it's important. The next one was hugely important. Right, folks, before I go any further, I want to just show you on a map. Well, I'm going to show you the two pictures, okay? So I'm going to have to move the camera, and then I'll pause to reset it so we don't wobble you around. Bear with me a second. Okay. Okay. There we go. That's the picture of the constellation of the crane. As you can see, you got the triangle, you got the shortened side with 1, 2 stars connecting and this kink, and then you got 1, 2, 3, 4. Just to show let me just get you back in the middle. There's your 4, and there's your 2. See the 2, the 4, and the triangle. So that's this is the G-Roos, the constellation G-Roos with the stars. And oops, hang on, and that one is the constellation on the ground using those exact coordinates I just gave you. So as you can see, well, and it says seal a fort. You couldn't make it up, folks. This is clearly put there. You really right. Now I'm going to show you the picture next while we're at it, and this is a bit. Well, I don't even know what to say to this, but there's a message behind this. You'll see what I mean. Okay, this is America, north and south. As you can see, there is a giant scythe. And this is made up, and I've had to cut this down. Starts down here, You're a guy as well there as well. You've got these are codes as well. I don't know what they don't haven't connected them all yet, but there's your guy out. This is where the crane is as well, by the way, up on this part here. But this thing goes from north to south, and as you can see, it cuts straight across America. And well, I'm going to now pause you just so I can get these place names up, because I'm going to have to do this with a little bit of zest. So bear with me, folks. I'll be back in a second. Okay, guys, I'm going to have to do these quite quickly to get through them, but there's some important points on this. As you can see, right, believe it or not, these are all places, even a place called Newport News, would you believe, near Virginia. Virginia or around that area. Well, I didn't even know it existed, but it does. And this is what makes this incredible, because that, just to break up the anagrams a bit, that is actually a code and an anagram, which is unbelievable. Okay, just to show the creator knows exactly what is going on these days, and well, you'll see now. Okay, Sacramento. Well, the first thing to know, this is actually the. This is going to be difficult to do, but this is effectively. It's better than this, obviously, but this is effectively what you've got. Okay, this is Sacramento. Sacramento is right. Right. Firstly, you've got O Sacrament. I've done this code before, but O Sacra. Oh, that should match up. Sacrament. Helps if you can spell it right. A sacrament. Oh, sacrament. Well, a sacrament is a sign between God or Yah and man. For God and man. That's what a sacrament really means. Well, here is a sign between Yah and what a place to put it, right on the top of the handle, basically. So he's telling you this is a sign to man from Yah. Okay. What also, when you break it down again, it says Santa Marco. So we sent to Marco as a sign between, to decode a sign between him and you, the men. That's what that one breaks down to. You can check this, and it's all there. And you also have as well an SOS. I broke this code down and got Arc Cas 10, which is connect the Cassie, Sodom and Gomorrah, and 10 is Reuben Nibiru, which is showing you that basically this is an end time prophecy. Well, and if you didn't guess it, from a great big scythe that reaps corn. And there's a star constellation as well. I've got to try to remember to put in as well. In fact, I'll say it now. It's Corona Australis, and it says OA corn, a US trail. Or and then you can, and once you found the US trail, you realise it's a US trial. US has been on trial. That's what it amounts to. And I'm getting well. This is going to be a prophecy that I do not want to put out there by rights, but this is my job, and that's what I signed up for. So again, know there's a safe zone. Turn to your creator, and I'm sure I know he will. He's not going to leave you, but you need to get right and accepting. Okay. Newport News. How clever is this? This is this point. Now this arc, as you saw on the map, it makes itself, because obviously I say, knows it. Well, he even knows what Google was going to do, and it shows this curve. And when you draw to this point to that point, that's where you get the first curve. Okay. When I collected Newport News, what is Newport News? Well, where I lived in Newport, just up the road from where I lived, are the offices of. I need a pen that works. Hold on, guys. Is the South Wales Argus. Okay. Right, what is this? Well, what is this all about? It's about a South Wales using the A.G. Bruce. So he's even using the local newspaper to identify somewhere. And I am the news. I was born in Newport. There's a cast connection as well from the 10 tribes, making a connection. South Wales Argus, a South Wales G. Bruce. Well, G. Bruce obviously is is the fourth. As again, part of the safe zone, and that's why that is part of it. It's telling you, I'm guessing this is saying if you follow the, well, take this as a sign as an SOS, and this is where the SOS, well, basically Newport, colour went, and that melon are in the borough of Newport, the rough bow of Newport actually as well. That's another code. It's in borough, but anyway, okay. So that's number 2, 1, 2. Right, let's mark these up. 1, 2. So next we got, right, Utah and Colorado. Right, these are actually, there's Utah, there's Colorado, or it's not, it's further over than this, that's not really good. This is actually over this way. There's also Kansas as well. I realise that's a code. It says Assam. Kansas. I haven't put that in, but Kansas is Ask Sam, so it's asking Sam, where's the, well, ask me where the safe zone is. Well, it's near Newport News. It's in, well, it is Newport News, because it's news. The news is, it's in the Safe Wales G Bruce, and that's where the safe zone from this, when the corn get, I hate to say it, but the harvest is due. This is what this represents, the harvest of the corn, and he's always talking of corn and the harvest. The threshing floor is called the threshing floor because there's a shark on it, and when he pulls him in, he's going to thresh, and that's another part of the whole code. Okay, Utah, Colorado, right, this is U at H. H is for that melon. Do a American spelling of colour. Well, the colour is yellow, because yellow in Welsh is melon. Again, tie in the lock and key, although this being the key. U and H, so melon is the, oh, again, that's the mel, it's the mel H again. So again, he's just tying in the lock and the key, okay? Right, number 4. This one is here. Right, number 4 is Mercury. Well, this says, well, again, this is all, what is this all about? It's about South Wales G Bruce. Well, this is, and I wouldn't normally use this, but obviously tied in with the rest of the code, you can clearly see that this is, I'm not making this up, and this all comes from somewhere else. I didn't really decode it. It just came to me, and I just knew, well, I just knew where to go. I don't know why, how, but there we go. This is reference Cymru. Cymru is, well, they've used the G, or the G, when you go into Wales, it says welcome to Gymru. But they're slowly but surely trying to get rid of the G again, same as the G went on G Rws, which is why Gwent, where it's called the county of Gwent, is G Went, because obviously this is where the G went, from the Old Testament and from G Rws. Okay, so it's reference Cymru, so it's reference to Wales again. Cymru being Wales. Okay, Las Vegas as a pyramid, albeit a modern one. It's just showing that it doesn't matter, it just uses pyramids end off to get the message across. This is this one, and that cuts across there actually, and that comes in there, I think it is, I don't know. Either way, right, okay, Las Vegas pyramid. This is, and when I came into this world, this is what my job was, to salvage. This is all an anagram of this, your map IDs. All written in pyramids, funnily enough, and I'm going to show you another one because there is another pyramid as well. We'll come to that now. So we've got, right, you've got Sacramento, oh sacrament, it's a sign between man and God. This is the sign. Santa Marco, SOS. In other words, I'm a guide to tell you where to go and what to do. It's basically turn to Yahweh, ask for forgiveness, do what you would normally do to what you call what we've been calling God, and scratch Jesus. End of. Jesus is fake, and he is not coming. I guarantee you. And this is the proof that he isn't coming, because this would not. Well, he didn't tell you about a safe zone. He's just telling you. Oh, anyway. Okay, so as you can see, we've got Sacramento. So Santa Marco, a sacrament is a sign. A South Wales G Bruce. U at H, do a colour. The colour is yellow melon, tie in the mel H. Reference to Cymru, that's what this is all about, because they're not happy with what they've done. Well, you know, obviously change everything round. And America represents modern day Egypt. That's why we've got Arizona, but I'll come to that. A Ra Zion. Las Vegas Pyramid, salvage your map IDs. So he's telling me to salvage my map IDs. There's map IDs, the pyramid there, and in this pyramid as well is the Teotihuacan, whatever it is, which is can you tie your map ID to a H, tying it to the Giza pyramid, but also it ties it to Marco's Island, which ties to the temple in Wales, which ties to Jerusalem. So as you can see, this all backs everything backs itself up. Absolutely amazing. Okay, just pause for a second, guys, so I can get the next bit on. Okay, guys. All right, my pen's flagging a bit here, but I'm hoping you can still see this. Right, the next one is right, which is in the middle of the blade. The blade. This is also written, actually, this blade in England in a place called Chester Blade, which is it's Secret H Blade. I'm not sure how that connects in picture or something. There's bound to be something in Britain to relate, but there is a place called Chester Blade, Secret H Blade. This is obviously this side. This is, I would suggest, is well, unless some other blade comes up. I didn't think it was the spear, and a blade is pretty much what a scythe is about. So this is also recorded in Britain as well as in America. Anyway, St. Louis Pyramid, Missouri. There's pyramid in St. Louis, would you believe? You don't hear much about it, can't even pinpoint it on a map, but it's there. If you Google it, it exists. So what this, right, this is bizarre. And this is what I mean about, part of the reason that I must have agreed to come and do this job. And this is, I've obviously been woken up at the right time, 50 years in, there we go. But this says, it's Sam, your map ID, oh, I miss our Silu. Telling me, well, he obviously misses me. That means he must have known me before. Well, he says, I knew you before you were born. Well, clearly, this is all part of the whole thing. Sam being Saint, and bear in mind, in Florida, you got San Marco. In Italy, you got San Marco. And these all connect, San Marco and Marco Island. And all of it is connected. But Sam is another of my map IDs, of one of the Las Vegas one, so it would salvage your map IDs. So it's Sam, your map ID, and he's telling me that he obviously knew me before I was born, which again fits perfectly with what he says in the Old Testament. ID, it's Sam, your map ID, I miss our Silu, which I thought was beautiful. And I can't wait to meet back up with him, if that's what, I don't know where this goes and how it plans out, but heaven and earth become one. So there's obviously an earthly salvation in this. It's not like a heaven. You don't have to die. In fact, it's trying hard not for us to die, and this is why we've got to get this message out, guys and girls. And as you can see, it's a serious message. Okay, number 7, Louisville. Right, there's 2 on this. I know, right, Ville in Welsh and F and a V are interchangeable. But Silu he live, or he live, maybe he live, and I don't know, but Phil Silu. Again, and this is where Jacksonville Phil comes in. It's like the Jackson of, which is to do with the high Jack of you Zion as well. Zion being I son, or son I. But anyway, that one's one of the coordinates in the side as well, in the blade, because this is all to do what this is all about. Okay, 8, Phoenix, Arizona, and Mesa, a little tiny place called Mesa, literally just under Phoenix. Well, Phoenix is one fix. PH becomes an F, that becomes one fix. Mesa is same, one fix, a Ra Zion. This is the fix for Rome. There's a one fix at Jerusalem. Fix yourself by getting right into getting there and being good. Or the other fix is the scythe, I guess, and the reaping of when the reaping comes. And I will show you what I'll explain that as we go. Same one fix, a Ra Zion. Number 9, Sonora. It's just off it, but it's son of Ra. And that's Horus, that's Jesus. I'm sorry, but that's who it is. And God is Amen-Ra, and that's who he's giving homage to. He's not coming to save you, they're lying to you. All these things you're waiting for, and this Antichrist, all of it. And it's going to be too late by the time you realise, if you don't take in what I'm putting out there. And as you can tell, I'm getting, I'm more confident. Well, I'm confident with this now that what I'm doing, I was meant to do, and there's no way, as you can see, this is coincidence. I'll just pause you again, guys, 2 seconds. Okay, folks, the next ones. Right, some of these are inside the handle, these places, like the Titicaca, whatever it is, pyramid. Right, okay, so we got Hidalgo, which is gold, IDH. This is just above Tete, whatever it is, pyramid, which says, can you tie your map ID to a H? Giza pyramid being G is your map ID. G is your map ID. Obviously, I've done all that, and that relates to Gymru, the pyramid in Wales, over Wales, and in Solomon's Kingdom, and all that goes with that. Okay, the next point. So again, you've got all these pyramids, and they're all tying up, and this is all to do with destruction of the modern-day slavery of Egypt, or well, obviously America is the son of Babylon is Britain, basically, or the British. Or the evil ones of this world, all three of them, the axis of evil, really. There's America, Britain, or the British establishment, Freemasonry, all of it that are hiding the truth. And obviously America is sort of like an offshoot child, and really all three are one. It's Rome, Egypt, and Canaan, just rolled into one. It's the devil it's Satan rebranded and teamed up, bottom line. But we're in slavery, and I'm here to get you. Well, we're going to be taken out of slavery, and I'm here to guide you out of it. I'm doing a Moses thing. This makes all this bizarre. Following a recon beacon, which was the first thing that ever happened to me that got me on this road. But either way, right, okay. This place is actually on the map line. This runs straight through the centre of the handle. Guayaquil, Quill, or whatever it is. A guy, a quill. Is one L short of being a quill. It makes no odds. I could add an L from the Cobra, which is a warning anyway, which is Recon L, and there's plenty of L's. I could add Phoenix, one fix, so you can allow one fix. Well, a Gaia quill. That quill is the old way. It's a pen. Well, effectively, it's a pen. It's just the old way of saying a pen, but I guess Gaia pen would be pretty obvious, so he's put it as a Gaia quill. Well, a Gaia quill, obviously I'm writing with a pen, which is effectively a modern day quill, and drawing a map, a picture with all these coordinates and everything in it. Okay, 2 seconds, guys. Okay, and the last two, these make up, this is literally the bottom of the handle. These two places are absolutely tiny, and you have to go right in close just to show you. And I got, for some reason, these came to me. I don't know how I found them, but randomly, well, it's not random. I just got led to it. They were there, and I'd already seen these before I even knew anything about this scythe. And when I followed it down, it did the one, and then I just knew that this is what it was. I've just combined the two. So San Luis del Palma is one place. That's this side, and then whatever it is on that side, and then this comes up. This is your handle from South America. But when you combine the two, it gives you the message. And San Silo comes, lead or mat, or there's only one L. Again, it's come see, come sa. I think it's safe to say we can allow for one L. But and San Silo comes, lead or maps. You've got the San and the Silo, all that at the top, and connecting the bottom to the top even. There's even a place that, if I went into detail with this, then we'd be all day. But as you can see, this makes up, this all makes up the side. And you can see all these IDs. Right, now, this is where it gets, right, okay. So that makes up the side. Right, what is the thing with the side? Well, right in the middle of it is Mexico. This is the place I guess we would hold the side. Right, Mexico. Right, you would not believe the code in this. Okay, it's me X I code first. Me X I code. Right, well I code the X. Right, if you remember on the last one, I can't remember the name of the place, but it was San Marco something, but I forget the name of it. It was on the last video. But what it decoded to was A plan 10. Well, I got this afterwards, and I realised that obviously it says a code. So right, so the XI code, right, there's 3 codes actually, but this is the first 2. The XI code relating to Britain, this is or the whole thing, I guess. Right, a plan 10. Obviously, a plan 10 is to get the 10 or the reuniting of the tribes in the safe area in where I've shown you, G-Roos in Wales, and that's the plan 10. Okay, 10 in Roman numerals is X. It's also a plan well, the destruction of Reuben, which is the bad guys, basically, the actual bits, which is Babylon, Britain, tied in with Rome, and basically the 11 being the Levites, which are the Vatican. So it's really, but this is all about a plan 10. So 10 being the plan X, so it's about the 10 tribes and the X. Okay, well, this is where it gets really strange, okay? It also says, and planet. Well, as you know, I've already decoded it, that a planet, there is a big planet coming, and I know we can't see it, I don't know why, well, I got an idea why, but either way, it's on its way. This is what all the disruption of floods and everything else, and this is what they know is coming, and this is why they're going to go underground and leave us out there and not expect, you know, kick a war off just to make sure that there's no survival. What they want, when they pop out their little pyramid, I'll get into that again. But basically, they're planning to pop up, and they're all safe. They've got the sea banks in Norway and everything else, and they're going to pop up in where Jerusalem is, because there's tunnels under there, and this is where they're heading. All of them, Vatican, the lot. But they're basically, and then when Planet X, they know this planet, and planet and X, and it's called Planet X. Planet again is Planet 10. And just to tie this in, the 10th tribe is. Reuben, so he's X, and then that's an anagram of the old Babylonian way, the proper way of spelling it. I think that's right, Nibiru, whatever. It's an anagram anyway, but it's Nibiru. Yeah, Nibiru. Nibiru is the planet of the crossing as well, Planet X, but this is all about the X's and the 10s, but they're going to start a war to X all, but it does say and fail in the map. Right, okay, what's this got to do? Right, this is to do as a general thing. Tied to America, me X I co. And this is what is not going to be good. Well, this is already starting to, we're already heading for this. Be rest assured this is going to happen. Me X I co. Who's holding the sickle? This is like judgment. I hate to say it, but this is judgment on America. So you best get right with your creator and know that what I'm telling you is correct, and he'll get you to where you need to be if you do right. Well, the first thing is come XI. Okay, so what is come XI? Well, it's probably come the Beru, but and this is leading right to where we are, where this is all heading. This is happening, folks. Come Xi Jinping. Xi Jinping is basically the president of, or the leader of China. And this is what China, well, China are going to come up. Well, there's going to be an invasion of America, I can tell you that now, and they're going to come up from the south. And I know that the places in Venezuela, you've got Cuba as a communist country as well. You've got, and I don't think they're best pleased with America. So well, we'll see what happens. But I can tell you now, Mexico is a prophecy of come Xi Jinping. And that means China. And he's holding the, bear in mind, this is a scythe, which is a larger version of a sickle. And it does say about the sickle in the corn. And the sickle is also the sickle and the hammer. I think the hammer, it actually represents more Russia, but they're going to join this. It's all there. The sickle is a smaller version, but that is the Communist Party basically. And I think we're going to see a Red Sea, an overflow of the Red Sea. Both places. Britain is going to be coming from the north and all this is lining up. I watch it day to day, and we're not being told everything that's going on, but you can see where this is all going. Anyway, sorry to be the bearer of bad news. And if you're in America, please get right with Yahweh. Stand in the letter Y, put your sins on your palms, mean it, ask for forgiveness, and just ask, just get right with him. His name is Yahweh. Yahweh, not God. Do not call him God, and please do not mention the J word, because this is, honestly, I'm not people. We've been lied to. All religion is deception. Divide and conquer. When the world realises we're a human race and come together, then that's what this is all about. Under one creator, the one who really created us. And if you don't believe he's real, explain how all this is there, and explain even more to me, because I can't. There's no logical explanation why I'm able to do what I do. But anyway, peace and blessing to you. Until next time.